They imply it. They're suggesting that's the case.
Let's go.
Static selector.
They imply it. They're suggesting that's the case.
I mean, look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. What fucking planet do you live on, John? Hey, John, what planet are you living on? Going on all these platforms, you're talking hella shit about Karen. I want to know what planet, what trial are you watching, buddy?
Of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household at around 3:15 in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022?
Absolutely not.
What's different about this photo, sir?
That taillight is completely smashed out.
The condition of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household at around 3:15 in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022?
Absolutely not.
What's different about this photo, sir?
That taillight is completely smashed out.
Absolutely not. I mean, this dude's a cartoon character, man. He really is. I mean, you got Officer Barrows, man, a sergeant. He's a sergeant, man. What about Devers, man? Devers ain't no sergeant, right? This dude's a cartoon character. What you running from, man? What fucking planet do you live on, John? Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, turn me up in the headphones on this one. Yeah. J.F.K, I think we're just gonna drop the hook right here or something. I got a story to tell.
God damn, man.
Let's go. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, dying from the Fetty pills.
What up, chat?
They was already
Remember, man, nowadays they dying from the Fetty pills, right?
filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. The world distracted, everybody unemployed. Trapped in a rap race, but what you running for? You had some plans, realize they null and void. That trauma's real, cause no one ever wanted war. We just trying to live, pass on perspective. School system reject us and our course correct us. Motion is suppressors, probable cause audible. Food is horrible, the news is comical. My view symbolical, I do not choose to follow you. Mentally abused in the pain chronicle. The game's a funny thing, but one thing is for sure, watch what that money bring, a whole lot of noise.
I mean, we got a lot of things going on there, John. You got people dying from Fetty pills. You got the sick, the suffering. I mean, you're in this trial acting like it's nothing. This is the problem with guys like you. You're just talking with both sides of your mouth. You think you're important. You're not important. This isn't about you. Oh, no, no, no. You're a cartoon character. People are dying from the Fetty pills. People are in the struggle. People are getting deported. You got ICE agents watching people slip and fall. Yeah, get it together. John, ICE agents slip, fall. Yeah. And when you fall, they're going to stomp on your face and make you bleed and stick you in a jail cell. But you don't give a fuck because he's a Dominican cat or he's Haitian or maybe he's from Colombia. You don't care. All you care about is you. What fucking planet do you live on, John? One pill can kill. Do you know that things can affect you too? People around you have some empathy, have some sympathy, have some compassion. They dying from the Fetty pills.
Yeah. Yeah, turn me up in the headphones on this one. Yeah. J.F.K, I think we're just gonna drop the hook right here or something. I got a story to tell. Say no to drugs. Let's go. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, dying from the Fetty pills. Prescriptions, they was already filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. The world distracted, everybody unemployed. Trapped in a rap race, but what you running for? You had some plans, realize they null and void. That trauma's real, cause no one ever wanted war. We just trying to live, pass on perspective. School system reject us and our course correct us. Motion is suppressors, probable cause audible. Food is horrible, the news is comical. My view symbolical, I do not choose to follow you. Mentally abused in the pain chronicle. The game's a funny thing, but one thing is for sure, watch what that money bring, a whole lot of noise. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, dying from the Fetty pills. Prescriptions, they was already filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. Pay attention, they sick, they suffering. Can't trust no one, even the government. You never know where others been, so keep it.
Damn, man, you can't even trust nobody, not even the government. You never know where others been. So keep an open mind and let a brother in.
Keep an open mind and let a brother in. Our generation died, now we sit and wonder. Running these streets, how we 6 feet under. Little man up the block, busted by undercovers, feds taking the case.
Yes.
One big budget, said he's making profit, confusing the public. Stamped as a perk, users knew that it wasn't. Federal guidelines in its truest colors. He's doing 20 years, watch what you do to others. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, dying from the Fetty pills. Prescriptions.
I mean, prescriptions, they was already filled, but nowadays, John, they dying from the Fetty pills, but you don't give a fuck because you're on your Adderall every single day and the doctor prescribed it to you, so that don't make you an addict. But see, you're an addict for the pain. See, you're an addict for the bullshit, the addict for the gossip, the addict for the fame, the addict for the limelight. See, you are no fucking different than anybody out there in the world, but you want to act like you are different. You want to throw judgments and you say they're opinions, but they sound more like judgments to me because I'm looking at you, John, and what fucking planet do you live on, man?
It was already filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, say no to drugs. Yeah. Dying from the Fetty pills. For real, come on. think that they ready for change.
Goddamn, man. He just don't understand, man. He doesn't get it, man. There's a lot of pain out here. I mean, what type of cartoon character is this clown? John, what are you running from, buddy? I mean, what fucking planet do you live on? John. And if you didn't know, on the stage right now is my man, my guy, Kevy Kev.
Kev in the house.
781. Let's
Static
go.
selector.
Woo! We just getting started. Long gamers. I know it's a red eye. Everybody's on the Turtle Boy page. Nobody wants to give J.F.K. love. We got 57 people. And that's all right. Small crowds, big crowds. It doesn't make a difference as long as you're here with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and I love every minute of it. Thank you. Thank you. And if you're just waking up or you're just going to sleep, I don't know what it is. When you catch me on the replay, throw them peace signs up. Let's go. Free Karen Reed, let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, Cynthia Lynch. I mean, I know all day you guys been hearing about Lucky, and you've been hearing about Barrows, and you've been hearing about this and hearing about that, and everybody got their take, and I see everybody getting these huge numbers, and JFK just been sitting back saying maybe I should have slid in earlier, but I'm like, nah, I'm going to stick to the format and slide in on the red eye, because we're going to say it a little bit different. We see it a little bit different over here. So I got to sit back and I got to watch everything that's going on. And I got to zero in on the real problems that are never going to go away, like clowns like this that need to be spoke about. This dude is a straight up cartoon character. And he's in the courtroom. He's on court TV. And he's talking a lot. And it's guys like that. You got to understand. Guys like that. People who look like that. Talk like that. These are the people you got to worry about. Right, Kevy Kev?
Right. That's right. What planet do you live on?
Guy's crazy, man. The shit he's been saying, my dude. I mean, we had Officer Barrow say this, right?
Condition of the right rear taillight.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear that.
You can hear that?
3:15 in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022.
Absolutely not.
What's different about this photo, sir?
That tail light is completely smashed out.
The condition of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household at around 3.
I mean, this guy's a sergeant, man, of the police department. And what about Devin? She's just a rookie, basically. It's why you got guys like this in the courtroom saying that's not making no impact. That's not making nothing. And he's in there and he's looking at the jurors every day with his faces. You know, that shit matters to me, man, John. I want to know what type of planet you live on. I want to know why at this point can anybody, such as yourself or anybody, and I'm speaking to you because you represent that other side and you've been getting a lot of airplay lately. So rightfully so, you put yourself in the scope. Now, disclaimer. I don't know you. I don't know you as a man. I don't know nothing about you. You might be a great man. I don't know. But as a reporter, a journalist, or whatever the fuck you do, vlogger, blogger, social media influencer, creator, I'm speaking to you from that perspective. So before you run your mouth or you try to go somewhere or try to talk to somebody, make sure you clip this. I'm speaking to you from that perspective. So isn't Kevy Kev Disclaimer. We don't know you as a man. We ain't judging you. We just have an observation. And the observation is that you're heavy on this case, but you're heavy on saying that everything we're bringing to the table is not having any impact, and it means nothing, and it's absolutely nothing. So Dever is nothing. And I'll leave it to Kevy Kev. What about Officer Devers?
I mean, unbelievable. I mean, for her to, recant what she said a year ago, it just makes you wonder, you know, the Boston PD, you know, I could see them telling her, do the right thing up there, you know, and
Right.
making her change her shit, you know, trying to fit that timeline from when Proctor picked up that car, um, with his times. He said that it didn't arrive at the Sally Port until a certain time, and this officer, he stated that he got his first call at 3 o'clock, 3:12, something like that. Just she fucked up, dude. You know, I mean, it's obviously some kind of persuasive action there, in my eyes.
Cynthia Lynch, so happy to catch this flight, and I'm so happy that you're here. And Donnie B, let's go. Love you guys. I love you too, and I appreciate you guys so much. We're starting to get the flight packed in before takeoff. We're currently number 3 on the runway. We haven't hit the runway yet. We're 75 in. And I appreciate you guys coming to check us out. I know Turtle Boy is on tonight. And I know it's one of them nights, man. Everybody was on. I seen everybody on. So you guys probably got your fill. So if you come back on the replay crew, that's okay, because we love you too. The super thanks is open. The Cash App is open. 24 hours Venmos, if that's what you're into. Or you can just give it a like. You can give it a share. You could hit a subscribe. You can subscribe to my man Kevy Kev. Also at Kevy Kev 781. Loving JFK Air First Class Night Flight. Could be anywhere in the world. Only want to be here. Thank you.
That's right.
TG. Member for 2 months. Thank you for keep coming. And so we heard a lot today. But I want to touch upon some things. I want to touch upon that, Lucky, he said what he said. He didn't see a dumpster. That was kind of slick. That was some Gary Zarola shit, huh, Hank?
Fuck. Hank is.
He's Gary Zarola-ish, man.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, he's tried, it's because he's watched this shit over. He's must be watching clips and stuff.
I mean, I think it's more so, honestly, that he's a defense attorney and the cross is where he lives at. That's his wheelhouse. So anything, he's pulling from every case he ever got before. If he can look in a picture and see a dumpster and hit you with that, did you see a dumpster? I mean, Lucky fell right into that. So it goes to show you, Lucky fell right into that. What would have happened that morning if Big Bad Brian A. and Higgins would have rolled up to him and said, you hit John O'Keefe? He would have fell right into that too.
He definitely would have. He definitely would have.
So, Hank, thank you for opening up that door for your man J.F.K. because you did bring the dumpster up and you caught him up. He didn't see it. He didn't see the dumpster. It didn't mean nothing to him. He didn't see a big fucking dumpster. I get it. But guess what? He fell right into that trap. Anybody seen that coming? Anybody seen that coming? Lucky didn't see it coming, no. But anybody else, anybody with a criminal mind, and Lucky's not a criminal. And that's what you got to understand. He's not a criminal. See, you're not used to people telling the truth, Hank. You're a defense attorney. Everybody you ever had as a client, 95% of them was fucking lying. So you're not used to the truth. I get it. I mean, shit, it's hard for me to believe anybody nowadays. Hey, JFK, you're a good guy. Am I? You got a wire on?
Right.
You know what I mean? It comes with the territory, man. It comes with the trauma. It comes with what it is. I totally get it, Hank. You're not used to the truth, man.
He seems like he's, he tries to attack that, memory loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I mean, that's what he tries to trap. It seems like everybody in, which I mean that, we got to remember he's He's in his prime, he was a defense lawyer. I mean,
And he will be after this too.
Yeah, he most definitely might.
He's a defense lawyer right now. He set it up to be a defense lawyer. He hit everybody on purpose, so we would have to call everybody. Lally called Lucky before, so we had him on the cross. Now we got him on direct. You know what I mean? No.
Yep.
Excuse me. No, Lally had him on a. Did we call him or did they call him? I forget. But the point is, Lally called. He called everybody. Lally, for the most part, last case. Right? So we had him on the cross. Now his game is, I ain't calling nobody. You call him on direct. I got him in my wheelhouse. He's trying to beat them at their own game. E-Pags, what's up? My name is Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. My name is J.F.K, a.k.a. my real name is Randy. And I'm free Karen Reed and a J addict. I appreciate that, Elizabeth. Appreciate that, E-Pags. That's awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. You know, and so at the end of the day, you know, it's hard for him to believe that. But it's guys like this, man, this cartoon character, that he's on all these platforms and he has no respect. He has no level of respect, no moral compass. And he's a straight cartoon. I mean, the shit this guy says, man. I'll play some things this guy says recently. He was on, because I be watching everything, man. And especially when certain characters are on and they're getting the light on court TV and different platforms.
Exactly.
Once you get on them type. Go ahead, buddy.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, this is what I mean. Almost in a sense, like we should have seen some of these clowns coming, anyways, because you know, once this trial,
that is not relaxed.
I'm sorry.
That is someone.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
They wanna try to, you know, it's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking distraction. These fucking clowns are gonna flood the media. They're gonna start talking shit. It's part of the course that we're fucking taking here. Let's hear what this I got to say.
You're a real clown, John. Fucking planet do you live on, buddy?
That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone. Ryan Nagel with.
What?
5, you know? 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This one's explosive.
Let's go.
You wrong.
Her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone with intent.
So she had her hands on 10 and 2. And that's intent. Man, John, what fucking planet you on?
Clown! You are a clown! 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 Clown!
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him out of my car. Because I was having Jen get the...
Name out.
Extra name out.
Put our name on top. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know what else to say, man.
We here now. Extra name out.
God damn,
Put our
man.
name on top.
My name
I don't
on
know what
top.
else to say. We here now. You gotta live in the present. Life is a gift, gotta quit all the stressing. Keep fear first, it can be gone in a second. When you feeling inside, never skip the message. Chasing money, it don't matter in the end. They follow you on social, that's not a friend. When fame approach you, that could be your end. Devil close to you, when living in sin. My man got a new liver, a lease on life. Drank himself to ICU, streets of trife. In the towers in the bay, sleepless nights. I don't know what else to say, just gotta keep it tight. And if you wanna fly, you gotta make the jump. Extra name out.
Extra name out.
Put our name on top. I don't know what else to say. We here now. Extra name out. Put our name on top. I don't know what else to say. We here now. You gotta live in the present. Life is a gift, gotta quit all the stressing. Keep fear first, it can be gone in a second. When you feeling inside, never skip the message. Chasing money, it don't matter in the end. They follow you on social, that's not a friend. When fame approach you, that could be your end. Devil close to you, when living in sin. My man got a new liver, a lease on life. Drank himself to ICU, streets of trife. In the towers in the bay, sleepless nights. I don't know what else to say, just gotta keep it tight. And if you wanna fly, you gotta make the jump. You ever wonder why they fake the love? Summertime shine, why they hating us? We live to die, fine line straighten up. What? Extra name out.
Extra name out.
Put our name on top. I don't know what else to say.
Man, I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, listen to this guy. Let's listen some more.
Eagle with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. I noticed that the jury, Hank just has, he's been in front of them for so long, and they also see the way the witnesses respond to him. They see the way the judge responds to him. I no matter what they're putting on right now, I just don't think it trumps Dr. Welcher and Dr. Wolf. Hank has such a rhythm with this jury. When he speaks, when he gets up, I just think he's developed a very strong rapport. I mean, to me, right now, okay, so Lucky didn't see him as he was plowing. So what? Like, in that courtroom, it is still, she went forward, then reversed at 24 miles an hour, and his phone never moved again. So, like, where are we going with this? And a dog bite, and yeah. I think you guys, Hank, I think right now, unless they puncture it, he's got the murder too.
What?
You wrong. You wrong. You wrong. You wrong.
Man, listen to this guy right
Ryan
here.
Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone with intent.
What fucking planet are you on, homie? God damn.
Oh.
Unbelievable. So I was taught growing up, when you got your hands on 10 and 2, that means you're a real careful driver. And that's by the book, right? When you take the driver's test, you're supposed to be 10 and 2, right? So that's actually going by the book, and that would make a careful driver, right? And dare I say, disclaimer, back in the days when someone had both hands on the wheel, you would say they're driving like an old lady, right? Disclaimer. So what are we saying here? So she's a careful driver, so she has intent. She has intent, and that's rage? That's crazy, the shit you're saying, my man. Then you said, so what? Lucky drove by and didn't see your body. And then these dog bites mean nothing. Really? So wait a minute. So a cop testified that the tail light wasn't like that, John. You're in the courtroom. You're there. You're on court TV. You're getting the microphone. You're getting the mic passed. What the fuck are you so angry about? Why are you so mad at Karen? What fucking planet do you live on, John?
It's crazy, man. This dude's a friend of Hank's, I believe, too. He knows Hank Brennan pretty well. He's part of that fucking clown club.
But this shit don't make no sense to me, right? Because you're in a position where you're getting airplay and where you're going to different platforms where you got to hold a neutral point of view. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to hold the neutral point of view because that's your duty. You're a journalist. That's the oath you take. If you look like this and you're this guy right here and you look like him, obviously that's your whole gimmick, right? You hold a neutral point of view. But how all of a sudden is he so against Karen making up these things 10-2? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, like, listen, have you heard that? The Ryan Nagel with the 10-2.
Hands on 10-2. That's like a race car driver.
That's like a
Yeah, fucking.
That is not relaxed.
That's not relaxed.
That is someone with intent.
God damn, yo. The last thing you want to do is say hi to this guy.
Right?
Because he'll say, you threatened him? Like, man, disclaimer. We are not attacking you, my man. Disclaimer. John, we ain't attacking you. We're talking about the creator, the blogger, the analyst, the journalist, whatever the fuck your tag is, whatever you claim you are, whatever. That's your business, not my business. I don't know you as a man. I ain't judging you as a man. It's an observation on what you say to the public. I'm observing it, and I'm speaking to that. This is no threats. This is no bad harm. I don't wish you no death. I hope you live another 100 years, my dude. Disclaimer. Clip that if you're going to clip anything. But based on the way you're talking, damn, you can't even say hi to this guy.
Oh.
You scared of? I mean, you got issues.
You see Turtle Boy confront him a couple times? Turtle Boy's front, yeah, he's confronted this dude a couple times on the courthouse stairs because he's doing them live streams, and Turtle Boy's come up doing his live streams, and he's he's doing it on purpose. He's like breaking into his shit, but the dude's spinning around, fucking saying, "Yo, man," like, and he's yelling for the cops and shit at the top of the stairs. Yeah, this dude's a bitch.
TG from the real SB OHP, the Old Harbor Projects, aka Mary Ellen, Dr. Marie Russell, Sergeant Barrows, Lucky the Man. Now bring on the Crash Daddies, Aka. P.S. The dumpster was at 34 Fairview when they tore up the basement floor, getting rid of the evidence. Death. Witnesses restoring humanity. Absolutely. I agree. And that's what I'm trying to say. And that's my point. That's my PowerPoint. What trial are you watching? What fucking planet are you on? 10-2 now? Wait a minute. So you're saying, so you want us to believe that 10-2 is like a race car driver. That's what you want us to believe. But then again, you don't want us to believe what's on his arm is not bite marks. You don't want us to believe that. You want to believe that's by plastic tail lights that exploded and came out like ninja stars. Yeah. That's what you want to believe. That's what you want us to believe, right? But you don't want us to believe, but you don't want us to believe their dog bites, even though he has a German Shepherd in the house and he's a cop, and the dog's probably trained bad. Because based on Brian Albert and the way he is, he probably treated the dog like a savage. So the dog just acted the fuck up. They say dogs are a reflection of their owner. I mean, I'm sure your dog, John, is a Shih Tzu. It's still pissing on its paws. Do you kennel it up every day when you go to the courthouse? Do you got it in the kennel? And when it's in the kennel, it growls at you because it's mad to be in the kennel. It's got hurt feelings and it's still pissing on its paws. And when you lay in the bed with it, do the paws smell? Do they smell funny? Damn, John. You need to fucking walk your dog, buddy, and treat your dog like a dog and get that dog out your fucking bed. God. Holy shit. Your dog's attacking.
God damn, John. Put your shit on.
5, 4.
Let's go. Damn, John. Get shit for the lead. Woo! With the 777 on the 777, you have to be brain dead to ingest his BS. But see, that's the thing.
Sure.
This is just a case of they want to have their cake and eat it too. You want us to believe that the tail light exploded like ninja stars, and them are not dog bites. And you want us to believe that Lucky was in a high top truck driving down the street, a guy that's been up and down that road, that knows Big Bad Brian A. and doesn't want to say that he respects him because he's a cop. You know, deep down inside, the reason why he didn't call the police on him and to get that Ford Edge tow because he was a cop. So he had respect for him. And he was looking at that house. Lucky should have just said that. Yeah, I kept my eye on that house because I know who lives in it. That's why I look at that house. When he said he looks all the way up to the front porch, I believe that because he knows who lives in that house. Chris A. lived in that house his whole life. So if you know that house and you got history in that house, I mean, no matter, no time and no space, if you drive down a street that you used to live in a house or have a friend in a house and you played in the backyard or whatever, you're going to look.
Oh, definitely.
Especially if you're up high. So, I mean, he should have just said that. But see, Lucky's not a criminal, and he's not thinking that he has to, you know, write things down. He's just doing it the way he does it. You know what I mean? And Hank Brennan and guys like John don't know what truthful people are because they're living a lie. There's something up with them. There's something deep down inside eating them up to make them act the way they're acting. They haven't really fully reached that growth. Whatever's going on inside them is crazy that they're playing games with a woman's life because John O'Keefe been in the ground for 40 months now. So whether Karen goes to jail for 20 years or she gets let out, not guilty, it's never bringing John back. I mean, it's never bringing John O'Keefe back. So I just don't understand why a guy like this wants to lock Karen up so bad and put lies out that having both hands at 10 and 2 is a race car.
That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone with intent. The Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. I noticed that the jury, Hank just has, you know, he's been in front of them for so long, and they also see the way the witnesses respond to him. They see the way the judge responds to him. I no matter what they're putting on right now, I just don't think it trumps Dr. Welcher and Dr. Wolf. Well, Hank has such a rhythm.
I mean, this, you know, JFK, this dude,
he loves him some Hank.
He does. Even when he's on court TV, he's trying to fucking he's trying to praise Hank. Oh, he's doing a great job, and I think today's fucking. I mean, he's got him out there. I think he's a hired gun, or maybe they played at the same nightclub. He was a comedian and he was a harmonic player. You know what I'm saying? They might have been at the same fucking underground.
So you want us to believe that it's a race car driver, and you want us to believe that Hank got control of this case, but you don't want us to believe that Lucky, right, who lost his wife, right, just a tow truck driver, he saw what he saw, and he didn't see John O'Keefe. Oh, and by the way, a sergeant of the Dayton Police Department that has no stake in this case just became a sergeant, could ruin his whole police career, have beef with the police. When he goes into Boston, they could look at him, state police could pull him over. He went against the police, right? So this guy went against the police, right? No matter how you look at it, John, he took a stance of, the tail light wasn't like that. So if it wasn't like that, how'd it get like that? That means the police broke the tail light, and that means they're crooked, right? So he took that stance. So you don't want us to believe that. Then you don't want us to believe the dog bite expert, Russell, who said everything that people other dog experts are agreeing with her. They were just on court TV tonight. A dog expert said there was 5 people in my office, and all of us agreed that it was dog bites. Right in front of Vinny. At that point, Vinny, I mean, it's clowns you got on. At that point, Vinny, you should be taking the stance that she's not guilty. It wasn't coyotes that bit him. I can assure you of that.
Those are definitely dog bites, bro. Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, 100%, man.
I mean, this dog bite expert today, I'm about to play it.
I've been bit myself, man, and I'll tell you, I mean, not on the on the forearm or anything, but in the hand. And that shit pierces. That shit's clean, James just went through the shit too. Same kind of shit with me. I mean, they just don't want to believe that shit. I mean, they just, obviously, damn well if fucking Hank was on the other side of that team, he'd be fucking saying, yo, your fucking dog bit my client. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just sucks. But really, we're watching.
Go ahead, brother. What?
We're watching this shit round two, and that's what really just blows my mind.
Listen to what he had to say.
Punctured his skin. They're more abrasive in nature, and that's what the medical examiner told us. How does that impact the way you look at what happened here if the wounds are not a full puncture?
Well, can we see that photograph again?
Sure.
Watch this.
We'll get it up in just a second. There we go.
Sure. Okay. Now, those 3 marks there above his elbow, those look to be punctures to me, and they look to be deeper than half the length of the canine teeth, as well as those marks on the bottom side of his arm there. They also look like punctures, and they also look deeper than half the length of the canines, which is one of the things we look for in a hard-biting dog that we would expect to see.
Now, I want to play for you Richard Polsky, who's another expert in this area who we had on the program, and I want you to react to his thoughts.
He just said they are puncture wounds.
Thoughts about how you would determine whether or not this was a dog bite of a specific dog. Let's take a look.
You certainly absolutely want to take teeth impressions and to determine if the teeth are consistent with.
Now let's stop right there. Let's take teeth impressions. Hank was bluffing the whole time, saying he had Chloe. He said he took impressions of the teeth. Where the fuck were they?
Yep.
So let's talk about that, John. Where's your boy with the teeth impressions? To prove that it wasn't a dog bite. He never proved it wasn't a dog bite, but yet you're on these platforms, John. And here's this guy on Court TV. See, it's getting crazy, man, because there's a dog bite expert on Court TV right now, the same TV show that you're on, John, saying that they're dog bites. So you want us to believe that 10 and 2 is intent, and it's race car driving. Although in the book of the Registry of Motor Vehicles of the Commonwealth of fucking Massachusetts, when you take a test, you got to be 10 and 2. That's race car driving? Every dude I ever seen whipping their car fast, man, got one arm on the wheel like this with their seat all the way back. And you want to paint that picture. That's your mindset, and you're in the courtroom. Why are you even there, man? You just want her to go to jail. You just what do you want? You want Hank to win? You're a cheerleader for Hank, Brennan?
Yep.
You got a crush on Hank, John? This is going to do good for your channel? You want to go against the grain? You want to be the villain? You want to be the heel? You want to have a part in this case? You want to have a role in the movie as the heel? That's what you want to be? You want to be the heel in the movie? The guy who talked mad shit? The guy who had it out with Turtle Boy? See, you ain't getting that part. You're never getting a part in the movie, John. It's me. It's Marky. You're not going to be in the movie. There's no fucking room for you. You're going to be on the cutting room floor. No one's going to play you, John. There's going to be a Vinny. There's going to be no Plevlin. There's going to be no fucking John, no KP. It's just going to be Vinny on that side. That's it. And Turtle Boy. That's all we're going to do. You guys ain't going to be in it. And me, I'm Marky. I'm playing John O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And J.F.K.'s playing fucking Higgins. And Kev, he's playing Brian Albert. What do you think? What do you think? The only one with a fucking gun? Listen, you ain't in the movie, buddy. It's not happening for you, John.
Hey,
you're gonna be like Plevlin. You're gonna be like Plevlin trying to slang a book.
How did Big Brian A do it? What'd you say? He was licking the air.
He's licking the air. He was fucking licking the air, man.
God damn.
Don't believe the hype. Yeah. Don't believe the hype. Yeah. Don't believe the hype. Don't.
Yeah, this dude's a clown.
Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go. Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go.
The wounds on the victim. For this expert says it's not necessary. It leaves me confused. You have to look at as much evidence as possible to come to any definitive conclusions. A dog bite injury is caused by the behavior of the dog. So you have to do an animal behavior analysis. And as I said, you have to look at the context, the motivation of the dog, the relationship. And I don't understand. I'm not clear if she did any of this. And if she didn't do any of this, then it doesn't meet the standard needed to come to definitive or reasonable conclusions.
So, Robert, from your perspective, let's start first with the behavioral history of the dog. With you working with dogs for so many years, is it a predictor of behavior? Can you tell which dogs would be more likely to bite? And what do you look for in the background to determine the likelihood or the danger of a dog?
Well, sure. Yes, we look for those things. The behavioral characteristics of the dog in this instant, again, from my understanding, this was a police dog, a retired or a trained police dog that is being accused of biting him. So I wouldn't be concerned with behavioral aspects. But the other thing that Dr. Polanski said was that we would look for an impression, a mold of the dog's mouth. And we use endodentistry for this, and we have done it. We have had the dog sedated, made an impression of the mouth, made a resin skull.
Yeah,
were had, but no one noticed John O'Keefe lying just feet from the curb. It wasn't until...
Sorry, guys.
Coming up next.
Lost my spot.
Of all the material.
Or, Robert, where the molds...
We would look for an impression, a mold of the dog's mouth. And we use endodentistry for this, and we have done it. We have...
So this is what Hank Brennan said he did.
Had the dog sedated, made an impression of the mouth, made a resin skull, and we could show that the injuries were from this particular dog. We could show exactly which tooth inflicted which injury. I don't know if that's necessary, because I don't think that the dog is in question. If it in fact is determined that these are dog bites, then we know which dog did it. So I don't know if it would be necessary to do that, but I do agree with him that having an impression of the dog and lining up those resin impressions to that bite would give us an exact determination as if it was that dog or not.
And that's an interesting twist. I haven't heard that before, Robert, where the molds are used in a case where you don't know which dog actually did it. Like there's a couple of or several dogs in play. Well, which one actually did the damage, so you can distinguish between one dog and another. But from your perspective, what you're saying is you don't necessarily need the mold to determine if it is an actual dog bite.
Correct. You don't need the mold to do that, but we would use it to determine which dog did do the biting.
Interesting.
Okay.
I want to play some of the experts' testimony for you. This is Dr. Russell giving a part of her opinion. I want to get your reaction.
Here we go. You ready?
Do it.
Based on your review of all the materials that you had described and your experience that you had described, without stating it, were you able to come to any conclusions or opinions about the source and nature of the injuries that you see depicted on that exhibit?
Yes.
And what is your opinion and conclusion concerning those injuries?
Those wounds were inflicted as the result of a dog attack.
You ready? You ready?
And Robert, what's so interesting about her opinion and how she got involved in the case is she saw, I guess, the trial on television or saw an image of John O'Keefe's arm, and she reached out to a friend who then reached out to the defense team, and she sort of came forward saying, yeah, it was obvious to her. Did you have the same experience when you saw John O'Keefe's arm? Was it that obvious? And to what level of certainty would you give it based upon just looking at the photo?
Here we go.
The first impression I saw that, I was in my office with two of my assistants, and all three of us looked at the image and went, yep, it's absolutely a dog bite. Next. There wasn't even anything for us to consider. As soon as we saw the image, we knew it was a dog bite.
All three of you. That's amazing. That's amazing. Robert Brando, we appreciate your expertise.
There you go.
Do you have a muzzle? Do you have a muzzle on your dog, Johnny?
Lara, what up? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? We got Glera in the house. Peace signs up for my man, the Glera. Always holding us down. I mean, this fucking cartoon character. This cartoon character, man. I mean, you want us to believe that 10 and 2 is race car driving shit. What type of cartoon character you really, man?
This fucking dude's a clown.
I mean, come on, man. Listen to this dude.
Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone with intent. The Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. That is someone with intent. I noticed that the jury, Hank just has, he's been in front of them for so long, and they also see the way the witnesses respond to him. They see the way the judge responds to him. I no matter what they're putting on right now, I just don't think it trumps Dr. Welcher and Dr. Wolf. Hank has such a rhythm with this jury. When he speaks, when he gets up, I just think he's developed a very strong rapport. I mean, to me right now, okay, so Lucky didn't see him as he was plowing. So what? Like, in that courtroom, it is still, she went forward, then reversed at 24 miles an hour, and his phone never moved again. So, like, where are we going with this? And a dog
You know
bite,
where we're
and-
going. We're going not guilty, buddy.
Yeah. I think you guys, Hank, I think right now, unless they puncture it.
No. He ain't got that, buddy. Fuck out of here. What planet you live on, John? Fuck out of here with that shit.
Baby, let's go.
Come on, man. We taking you to kangaroo court, buddy. John. What fucking planet you living on, buddy? I go by the name of J.F.K. Damn, John, you fucking up, buddy. Let's go. You forgot about Officer Barrows, buddy.
Of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household at around 3:15 in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022.
Absolutely not.
What's different about this photo, sir?
That taillight is completely smashed out.
Forget about the baby blankets?
Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Terry. Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap.
You remember the 911 call, John?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow.
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow. Hold on a minute. Let me put you through to 911.
34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Damn, John. The guy and the man. The baby blankets got a whole house. I say it every night, but it means so much for guys like you. You want us to believe that 10 and 2 is rage. Race car drivers. You want us to believe that. Oh, what's the big deal about Lucky not seeing a body and dog bites? I mean, come on. It was a tail like that. You're not in the fucking movie, buddy. Marky doesn't want you in the movie. He already told me. He said JF late. That's what he calls me, JF late. He always says JFK, you're always late. I say, Marky, I'm taking the fucking red eye. Bring the jet. I'll jump on the jet. You want a turkey sandwich, JFK? Listen, you're not in the movie. I know, Marky. You're not in the movie, John. You're not in the fucking flick. It's a rap. You're not Howie Carr. That's who you think you are. What fucking planet do you live on, John? You're a fucking cartoon character.
God.
Disclaimer. We're attacking the creator. We're talking about the influencer, the blogger, the vlogger, the journalist. I don't know what his gimmick is. We're not talking about the man. We don't want to make you cry. We're not intimidating you in no fashion. We're not here to put you down. We're trying to pick you up. You just heard a dog expert say 100% without a shadow of a doubt. 3 people in my office said it was a dog bite. Then a woman who dedicated her whole life that's seen trauma, people bleeding, hearts falling out of chest, stab wounds, gun wounds. She was a police officer. It's no big deal. Lucky, a plow truck driver, just a normal, truthful guy, but you're not used to people telling the truth. John, I get it. You live out in Rhode Island. That's a funny place. It's in between New York and Boston. Your identity's kind of fucked up. I totally get it. Are you New York? Are you Boston? Do you wear a B hat or do you wear an NY hat? I don't know, John. But I know that you need to understand that Karen Reed is not guilty. Fuck is wrong with you, homie? It's insane, man. How about did you forget about the guy who dressed up like John O'Keefe, your boy,
God
Welch's?
damn.
He dressed up like John O'Keefe to try to trick the jury, because how else do you trick the jury? You try to give them a visual. You hear through the grapevine that the jury's going to be a younger jury. So let's dress up like John O'Keefe. But the problem is, when he did that test, he did it with a short sleeve shirt on. He didn't do it with a hoodie on. And the puncture wounds are not from no plastic taillight. Is the plastic taillight got a switch to it? Does it shoot 30 shots of Chinese stars? I mean, be realistic, John. See, I'm talking to you because you represent that stinking thinking. There was a cop from Dighton. See, we didn't make up this conspiracy. He got no dog in the fight. Literally, he just became a sergeant in Dighton. When he goes into Boston to the North End and he's driving down 95 and 93, he has to watch his back forever. Do you understand that, John? You don't get that because you're in the courthouse. No one's paying attention to you. No one gives two shits what you got to say. You're okay. You're going to be all right. The Stadies ain't going to fuck with you, but best believe the state police. Best believe the ATF. Best believe the Boston underground police that got Big Bad Brian A's back don't like him because, dare I say, he just fucked them all up. You heard what he said? He said absolutely not. That's what he said.
Condition of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household at around 3:15 in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022.
Absolutely not.
What's different about this photo, sir?
That taillight is completely smashed out.
That taillight's completely smashed out, John. What does that mean, Kevy Kev? Kevy Kev, you banging around over there, man. What's going on?
That dog. I got the dog out in the yard.
Oh, the dog's doing it. It's all good. I thought you were adjusting your phone. My ancestors are turning in their Norfolk County graves. I'm still holding my breath. The fix is in, but the eyes of the world are focused. Who is this jerk, John D? Is he on Tully's payroll too? Lucky? Thank you, programmer. Go ahead, man. What do you feel about this guy?
The police officer there?
Yeah, does he got smoke? Does he have smoke now? Do you think he has smoke? Like, realistically, your point of view.
I mean, I think when that that Dighton cop came in, right? That's what you're saying. The Dighton cop, man, he fucking.
You think he got issues with other police now? Real talk. Do you think? Your point of view. You think you haven't been in front of that courthouse yet, huh?
No.
When you see them stadies lined up, boy, it's like Revere Beach, bro. At fucking what time they shut it down? 10 o'clock. They start towing cars.
Oh yeah.
It's like that out there, son.
I mean, the way I looked at that whole situation is, I took it as that police force was like, it's like an independent station. I mean, it's they had a name for it, but they it's almost like a jurisdiction thing. I mean, they don't use, they wouldn't be sharing it like the Mass State Police seem to use Canton as like a cut, an extra home base. You know what I'm saying? He said that they had to touch base with him, his police station, let them know that they were going to be coming into their.
Yeah, but that's what they do. That's what they do. You know they do that. That's just protocol, man. They call in, the stadies call in and say, yo, call up your tow company that you have the contract with, and we're towing this car out. You just sit here, talk to the parents, you know what I mean? Play the good cop, and we're the two bad cops. You know how they do it. He was playing a good cop.
What I was trying to say is like he don't know any of them. So
no doubt.
I mean that was like the one good thing I got out of it. Like he was like neutral. He didn't know Brian Albert. He didn't know, this one or that one. He didn't know the whole fucking tree of the big vicious circle. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it could bring a little heat to him, but I mean, he's just doing he's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, he didn't see that fucking taillight smashed out to that fucking, to that picture.
Well, I think after it was all said and done, though, being a cop, after it was all said and done, I mean, some things are better left unsaid. But I bet you after it was all said and done,
stitches. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when it was all said and done, after they left, right? He probably got some vibes when they were there, right? Maybe he wasn't thinking like that at that time. He was just thinking, "Oh, they're stadies. I'm a Dayton cop. They want this truck." And then they're explaining. Did they tell him what they were there for? They never asked him. Where they said it was a homicide. Did he know at that point the truck though was the homicide weapon, allegedly?
Yeah.
Right. So did he know that? Did they slide him that information? And then and if they didn't, and they kind of kept him in the dark, and he was like, "Whatever, you guys want to play secret squirrel. That's cool." But I'm sure the mother and the dad, because he said he was talking to Dada and Mama Reed, right? I'm sure they said, "What the fuck are they talking about?" They say they hit him with the truck. There's no way. Take a look at the truck. Where'd she hit him with the truck? She didn't hit him with the truck. There would have been blood everywhere, Dayton police officer. It's me. It's Marky, right? That's what she would have said. So he kind of had a hunch probably right then and there, was like thinking of his own investigation. Like, man, this shit is shady, because he's rolling up to the house. He sees Karen Reed's father, Bill Reed. The dude's a professor. The mom's is cool.
Yep.
Karen probably smells like fucking Versace.
Yeah.
Probably like, damn, you smelling real good, girl. What's your name, Karen? You know what I mean? And he's like, why is these two cops fucking with this family? What's going on here? And then when it comes out later on, he's the light. He's probably sitting there in the Twilight Zone. And then all of a sudden, right, Kev? You know what happened, right? That fucking music. God damn! Shit! There's corruption in Massachusetts.
Dude turned into the.
What the fuck is going on? God damn, Kevin. Wiggins, is that you? Hey, Kevin from South Boston, you're up soon. Something don't smell right. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go.
R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe. How we feeling, chat? How we doing, chat? Be clear, they did John dirty, John. They did John dirty. They did him Dirty John John. They did John dirty. Let's go.
Your Honor, I brought a hat. That was the one I used in my testing. May I put it on and demonstrate something?
I mean, they did John dirty, and then you got this clown.
Your Honor, I brought a hat. That was the one I used in my testing. May I put it on and demonstrate something?
Mr. Lessie,
If you would like a sidebar, or I can.
are you objecting?
I am objecting.
That's sustained. No, you can't.
Your Honor, I brought a hat. That was the one I used in my testing. May I put it on and demonstrate something?
How insane is that? Imagine she would have said, go ahead, put the hat on. He would have put the John hat on, and he would have acted like he was John. And he's in front of Karen Reed. Like, is that some spooky shit or what? Does he have dreams about Karen? Like, who are these people? Seriously, we just had a dog bite expert on Court TV on January 4th of 2025 say that 100% it's a dog bite. 3 people in my office, we all think. He said they were puncture wounds, right? Dr. Russell said they were puncture wounds. Barrel says the tail light wasn't like that. Then we had a cop in real time, recant her story, get defensive, all upset, and said that the commissioner told to come upstairs. A commissioner tells a rookie to come upstairs and do the right thing. Now, she didn't just say she seen Higgins and Berkey in the garage. She didn't just say that. Hey, I thought I seen him in the Sally Port. No, you ever hear the saying, Kev, greatness is in the details? No, she went into detail. She said, I found it widely strange. I think that's exactly what she said, that they were in the garage next to Karen Reed's truck, knowing that Higgins was there the night before with John O'Keefe, excuse me. The real John. So the point is, she said all that, and then she recanted. Now, did they go after her in Canton when she was a cop, and they made a deal with her? Listen, we'll get you out of Canton, and we'll ship you to Boston, and you'll make more money in Boston. Maybe you could become a school cop. Maybe you could do some female things over there. There's probably more things to do. More things to do in Boston, way bigger. Suffolk County, bigger things to do than Canton. And by the way, you can make more money. All you got to do is do this.
Dude, they shuffled her right out of a car that night. That was done. They put that chick in that position too. They knew what the fuck was going down from fucking. They knew what the fuck was going down, bro.
Think about that. Like in real time, we seen a crooked cop get on the stand. Now, this is what I'm saying, Johnny D. You say that we're making up a conspiracy. How? Every time we investigate these people, this is the rock we unturn. This is how they act. And then you want us to react to it. You get mad at us when we react to it in real time. See, I had a couple of days to think about it so I could calm down and I could put it into perspective. But as you're watching it, if you're someone like the Glera, I'm in the Glera's chat, and sometimes I go live with James Jackson when he's not sleeping till fucking 4 o'clock. But disclaimer, sorry, James Jackson, wake up. But the point is, when you're watching it in real time, you have a crazy reaction to it because you just can't believe that this is happening. And when you sit back and think about it, you could put the right words to it. But can you put the right words to it, John? It was a movie scene, what we seen with this lady Devis. It was a movie scene. That's going to be in the movie, Johnny. She made the movie because that's a movie scene. See, you're not going to be in the fucking movie. You're not worth it. There's nothing about you that's going to be in the movie. You're not Howie Carr. You're not Howard Stern. You're nobody. Nobody cares. And you say the things you say to try to get a pop, to try to get heat, to try to be the villain, to try to go with a script. to try to write yourself in on this storyline. But the story is coming to an end, buddy. It's a wrap. We've seen in real time a police officer, a sergeant, say the taillight wasn't like that. We've seen Lucky, a guy that's honest. He doesn't look dishonest to me. Said that, nah, I didn't see no body there. And by the way, I know Chris Albert. I know that house. I've been living in Canton my whole life, and I keep my eye on that house for general purpose. You know what GP stands for, buddy? You know what that means? Do you know what a courtesy flush is, John? John, do you know what a fucking courtesy flush is? You know what I mean? Because you're the type of dude, man, that comes into the stall at the fucking airport and blows it up. You know why? Because you're full of shit. Flush the toilet, John. You fucking stink. You smelly fuck. So you don't even know what a courtesy flush is, man. You stinking up the whole joint. And on top of that, you don't even know what GP is, general purpose, and that's what Lucky did. He was keeping an eye on 34 Fairview because he thought they were his people until he found out they left the cop on the lawn. And then you want to flip it and say Turtle Boy made him do it. Really? I don't think Lucky's a pushover, man. Look at that Lucky, right? If Lucky gets mad, I think Lucky will fuck dudes up.
Dude.
Dude, you see the size of his head? If you punch Lucky, that shit ain't gonna do nothing to Luck.
No. I know people like Lucky.
He looked like Butterbean, man. Oh, Lucky! Whatever you do, don't swing on Lucky.
God damn, Lucky.
God damn. R.I.P. off the John O'Keefe. Lucky, you the man, doggy. Let's go. He's awesome and he's a hero. And I mean, and John got the nerve to say what he says, just to run it back real quick.
Not relaxed. That is someone with intent. Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed. With her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is someone with intent. The Ryan Nagel with her hands on 10 and 2. That's like a race car driver. That is not relaxed.
This fucking dude is like a bro.
It's wild, man. The McAlbers have taunted Lucky. Sad he had just lost his wife whom he adored. Yes, but the point is, I don't think Lucky's threatened, man. They want to put that narrative out there. I think Lucky will fuck dudes up. I really do. You got to size people up. You could just look at people and say, okay, what are you going to do to him, man? He's got that race. He's the type of dude, you put him on the bench, bro, he'll throw 225 up for 15 reps. He's just one of them dudes. He got that strength, man. Go ahead. Fuck around with Lucky if you want. See, I'm a good judge of character. I bet you that. Go ahead and try to slap Lucky. Go ahead. I dare you.
Dude,
Lucky
he'll explode.
He'll explode, man. Fuck you right up real quick.
Oh, bro. I believe it, bro. I believe it.
Yeah, exactly, Mark S. You know what I'm talking about, Maki S. Hey, and by the way, thank Mark S. and all my Mars that are in here tonight, man, riding out with me. Thank you, Maki, man. Appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Exactly, Jen.
Dude, he was just sincere up there, dude. Even when Hank tried to fucking, flip it on, oh, you were embarrassed over that. Nah, you didn't like that they were,
he He said, nah. He said, I was aggravated. I was about to fuck dudes.
I was getting aggravated. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, lucky, bro.
Yeah, Lucky was about to swing on dudes, man.
Shit.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what GP is, right? General purpose. He was looking at that house because he grew up in that neighborhood. He probably rode bikes in that neighborhood, dirt bikes, mopeds, Yamaha QTs, fucking KX80s with the small fucking back tire. You know, they were living it up back then in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean? Shit, in the 80s with their time. You know what I mean? Late 80s. Early on, like 85, 88. They were living it up. So I'm saying that's why his eyes are on that. That's the common sense would dictate their Maki-S. Okay, and this is what we're seeing in real time. So it's hard for some people in real time to take this in without having an outburst. And then look at your outburst. 10 and 2 is a race car driver. That's intent. That's a crazy outburst. So that old lady that's sitting at the Shaw's parking lot or stopping shop in the fire lane with 10 and 2 on the wheel, and the cop pulls in back of her, whoop, whoop, telling her to move. Is she going to throw it in reverse and smash into the cruiser? Is that intent? Should they arrest the old lady that's getting the lemon donuts? Because she was just in Market Basket getting the fucking lemon donuts. She's a senior citizen. She got the EBT. She was going to get a dozen. She was going to get the lemon, the cinnamon. What type of donuts do you like, Lucky? Oh, excuse me. John, what type of donuts do you like, buddy? Do you like the cinnamon donuts, the jelly? I like the jellies. They got to be warm. If the jellies ain't warm, I don't want them. A cold jelly's no good for the belly. Hell no. God. Damn, son. What type of donuts do you like?
He said he packed snacks in the truck. And
exactly.
He remembered the whole shit, man.
And he remembered the dude said, you drive a tow truck. He was like, I don't drive a tow truck. Tore him right up. He's sitting there. He wouldn't answer him for a second. He was like, so the tow truck this and the tow truck that. And he sat back and he looked at Hank and he goes, hey, buddy, I don't drive a tow truck. Okay, you clown. Keep pushing the pen. You know what I mean? You're a pen pusher. I'm driving big rigs, bro, not tow trucks. So you know what I mean? So it's just like, and he knew the difference between his plow trucks and the person who was out with him. And that was it. And that's it. And he made sense of everything he said.
He's been doing this shit for 20 fucking years.
20 years.
20 years. And I mean, he's lived in that town the whole time. Mm-hmm. And like you said, he was being courteous, dude, because that you know, I mean, he named all the brothers. That's a big fucking line of brothers in that fucking family. Mm-hmm. And you know, his brother works with fucking Chris Albert. He knew Chris Albert from delivering pizzas. Plus, he, high school, junior high school friend, or at least, went through the grades together. I mean, it's fucked up.
General purpose, man, why he looked at that house. Now, what do you feel about when they got to... And by the way, right, John, just to say this, do you remember that
you did not include in your autopsy in any fashion any discussion of whether Mr. O'Keefe's injuries were consistent with a motor vehicle accident, did you?
No, I did not.
No. Even though that's what you were told by the troopers?
In fact, there were no injuries consistent with a motor vehicle impact on Mr. O'Keefe, correct?
Sustained.
Did you evaluate it all in your autopsy whether Mr. O'Keefe had any injuries consistent with a motor vehicle accident?
Objection. I'll allow that. Yes, I did examine his lower extremities. That is protocol in any case of suspected impact with a motor vehicle. So I did examine his legs and I did not see any evidence of an impact.
What are we talking about? R.I.P. John O'Keefe. He wasn't hit by a car. I mean, how much more do we got to show you? What trial are you watching? What planet you on, John? I mean, seriously.
Okay,
what are we talking about?
Hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, let's go, let's go. Hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, let's go, let's go.
Back selected.
Come on, man. What fucking planet you on, John?
Your Honor, I brought a hat. That was the one I used in my testing. May I put it on and demonstrate something?
God damn. You can't put that hat on, buddy.
That whole that guy there too. I mean, that was a fucking trip watching that whole fucking.
But the medical examiner right there said there was nothing on his body. She had him right. That was like, I think it was like what, a couple of days later, she did the whole examination of him. And she's looking right at him. No, nothing. No broken bones, no nothing at all. That suggests he got smashed by an LX 570. I mean, how much more, John, do we have to show you? And you're going to keep pushing it and acting like nothing happened for what? You're not going to be in the movie, John. Give it up. What did you feel about the guy who dressed up like John O'Keefe?
It was crazy, dude.
Outside.
Oh shit. We in the hood? Or the hood is in here?
What you say, Sticky?
I walked outside.
Oh shit. We in the hood? Or the hood is in here?
Absolutely. Sticky fingers, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, the hood is in here, man. Late night red eye. Just want to bring to the stage a guy who's been acting real suspect. I got a new video dropping tomorrow, part 22 of my series, coming out at 10:30 tomorrow. I need you guys, when you get redirected to it, I need you guys to go like that video. It's premiering tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Everybody go over there, like it, leave a comment. It's part 2022. I get into some shit. I need everybody to share the video. But in the meantime, I want to bring to the stage this guy right here. We all know him, right?
Back selected.
Hey, man, what's up, guys? Kevin from South Boston.
What's up, Kevin from Southie? What's happening?
Listen, I appreciate the things that you two do, you and James, right? But let me ask you something. Those two dudes that you're accusing, right? They're decorated dudes. What happens? Like, can you look at this from both sides? And this comes out that she...
It's not coming out, Kevin from South Boston. You know what we did learn today, Kev, right? Because I know you're watching. Karina. I think they could have drilled him more. I think they could have talked to Karina more. They could have drilled him more and said, hey, when he yelled out, threw his arms up. But you see, even Auntie Bev was trying to hide that. They weren't trying to let certain things in. So they just had to run with it and just show the video. And they figure, hey, we'll keep showing the video. We'll keep showing the video. And every time we'll just get a little bit more in, a little bit more in. I talked about this last time. You got to get creative of how you could get it in. You can't just say stuff. Was he waving his arms and this and that? You got to get one up on him. You got to do it in a way they don't even see you coming. So they're going to get better at it. They got to figure out a way to narrate it. I spoke on this before. But we did learn this about Karina, didn't we?
So John went over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So, honestly, I'd never seen something like that before. A boyfriend do to a girlfriend in public. Never saw that. So it just stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. So John went over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So, honestly, I'd never seen something like that before.
You seen it too, Kevin from South Boston.
A boyfriend do to a girlfriend in public. Never saw that. So it just stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing she ever seen, Kevin. And when you're walking through these halls right here, you know what's going on with John at this point. You're fully committed in a criminal activity right here. Your left hand's in your pocket because you're a fucking lefty. You got your hood on. You're walking the way you're walking. You're in a fucking zone. And the only thing that keeps going through your head is that kiss on the fucking forehead. Because that kiss on the forehead happened at 11:36.
Right.
At 11:32, you text, I'm well.
So John went over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So, honestly, I'd never seen something like that before. A boyfriend do to a girlfriend in public. Never saw that. So it just stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
And did she say that out loud?
Right.
Kevin from South Boston? Who you talking to? Who you on the phone with right here, buddy? Who you talking to? Huh? When you're walking in. You got your back to the camera. Now look, oh, hope shining bright. Hello, who is it? Hello, I'm on my way. Did she say that loud? The sweetest thing? And you just wanted the real thing. So you wanted the real thing, and then you seen John give it a kiss on the forehead, and you realize you can't compete with that. You realize you don't even know what the real thing is. You realize you're out the loop, troop. And then you heard that. Then he heard that music, Heavy Kev. We do it a little different on this channel. If you're just coming in on the replay crew, you're watching right now 97 people, and you're watching all these other channels. We do it a little different. We speak on it from a different perspective because we know what's really going on. And we got their attention, best believe, because we're the channel who brought you Kevin from South Boston. We unlocked that character. TG from South Boston, the real South Boston. OHP, the Old Harbor Projects, a.k.a. Mary Ellen on the check-in. You see the B hats. We're real deal over here. This is what we do. Barrows was hit head on in his police cruiser, October 2023, by a woman drunk driver and almost died. He would never lie in his testimony for Karen Reed, especially since there was a dead officer and his life was saved. Barrows a real man. Exactly. And I didn't even touch upon that. That's another thing, John. You keep forgetting there's a dead cop. Nobody's getting anybody's back for a dead cop, especially drinking and driving. And TG from SB, the real South Boston, John. Barrows was hit head on in a police cruiser, October of 2023, by a woman. And she was drunk as a skunk. So why would he get Karen's back? The preponderance of evidence. Is it likely that he's telling the truth, or is it likely that he's not? Well, how about your girl Devis, Kelly? Is it likely by the preponderance of evidence she's lying or she's not? Based on her reaction, based on her demeanor. Come on, John. Thank you, TG. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got some coming in, huh? Norman Corey, $5. JFK, did you pay attention to the last thing Alessi had Dr. Russell read on the stand? It was basically a disclaimer on Welch's report. Fill me in, brother. Fill me in. I did pay attention to it. I just don't know it word for word. What the Duck gifted 5 JFK memberships. And when What the Duck issues them 5 JFK memberships, man, I mean, I just hear that music. And it sounds something like, woo! What the Duck? Thank you, girl. Yes. Already know. But honestly, when you hit me with them 5 JFK memberships, it feels like
Static selector.
It feels a little harder. I feel a little bit more rugged. I feel like I'm up to no good. Yeah. Come on. Woo! What the Duck? Everybody be like, what the Duck? And say, what the fuck? Already know. Fuckery Donuts is now open. Let's go. Norman Corey, the kiss was John marking his territory in front of Kevin from Southie, and I agree with that. And it makes total sense. It fits right into the timeline. It's another piece to the puzzle. And I'm glad he did that. So I can't complain about the way they look at it and the way they did it. You know? And it's cool. I think they could have went a little harder with it. Hank Brennan backed up. He didn't want no part of it. Hank Brennan wanted no part of it. Because he knew that she's telling the truth too, based on what she said. I mean, after you hear her say something
John
like
went
this,
over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So, honestly, I'd never seen something like that before, a boyfriend do to a girlfriend in public. Never saw that. So it just stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. So John went over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So, honestly, I'd never seen something like that before, a boyfriend do to a girlfriend in public. Never saw that. So it just stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. So John went over to Karen and he gave her a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, and that kiss on the forehead, why did that stand out to you?
So,
this case is real cute. Real cute. You know, and I'll tell you something like this, right? Have you guys ever had that one that got away? Can I play a little song for you by J.F.K. featuring additional vocals by my guy Wade Barber, produced by Nasty? It's called The One That Got Away. Have you guys ever had that one who got away, and sometimes you think about her? This case is cute. Real cute. Free Karen Reed now. The One That Got Away. Can I play a song for y'all? Maybe I'll put it up on my Bandcamp where you guys support. Go to my Bandcamp. I got a new song up there called Stay. I'll play that too. The One That Got Away, y'all. Check it out.
She was the one that got away, like a high-speed chase. She was the one that got away. She was the one that got away. I think about all of the days. I know you'll never be replaced. You were the one that got away.
Everybody, The One That Got Away. Let's go.
Come on. She was my girl, right? She held me down. And if I ever had the chance, I'd probably tell her now. Met her at the movies, man, I loved her style. She was different. She was from out of town. Had the Honda Spree with the purple stripe. Used to tell me, watch your back, keep your circle tight. Used to hang out on the low, yo, we break night. But my mind was in the street, I used to take flight. No cell phones, had to call the crib. And when I got locked, heard you had a kid. I admit that hurt, I guess it is what it is. But life goes on, we all gotta live. I guess you got away or I was in the way. And when that song comes on, it reminds me of the day. I like the way you played the kissing game. And I ain't afraid to say, I'm missing you today. She was the one that got away, like a high-speed chase. She was the one that got away. She was the one that got away. I think about all of the days. I know you'll never be replaced. You were the one that got away. She was the one that got away, like a high-speed chase. She was the one that got away. She was the one that got away. I think about all of the days. I know you'll never be replaced. You were the one that got away.
What's going on? There's a guy unresponsive in the snow. 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
About to take some phone calls for the people. Anybody want to call in? Yes. Hope you guys like that song. The one that got away. J.F.K. Wade Bobber. For sure. You know, I got a lot of songs that are in the cut. And I'm going to start putting them on my Bandcamp. As long as, you know, you guys stream them. You guys could support. You guys could just listen. Because music falling on empty ears is tough for an artist, you know? So we try to. But that's what I think that homeboy was going through. And that's what it's always gonna be. Kevin from South Boston. She's the one that got away.
She loved you.
We got to get Karina out to JFK live on 6-9 for real. So remember, June 9th, Lynn, Massachusetts, couple of days away. We're less than a week away. JFK is gonna be at Lynn 196 Franklin Street, Kevy Kev. We're gonna be out there, meet and greet. We're gonna be talking with the people. We're gonna be talking. We're gonna be having some fun. Best believe that.
Yep.
About to open up the phone lines. Whoever wants to call in, talk to Kevy Kev and JFK. Take a couple of phone calls before we get up out of here for the night. Throw that number up screen. You already know. Tell me how you feel. How the case going so far? Do you think after the witnesses that we've seen so far, should we be scared or are we in good hands? We feeling good? We still nervous?
I feel pretty confident, man. You know, I think the defense has got a good lineup coming ahead. And, you know, I mean, it seems like we're still getting those, you know, the crazy rulings from the judge and, you know. But, I mean, I've heard that she's a pretty smart woman, too, you know. I mean, all get put aside. I mean, she knows her limits and what she can and can't do. I'll tell you that.
I'm not in Quincy, Green Eyes, but I'm sure someone's out from that way.
Call from
Ryan.
You're live with JFK and Kevy Kev. What up?
What's up, J.F.K? This is Ryan. What's up, Kev? How you guys doing?
What up, Ryan? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm here in Pittsburgh. I listen to you guys every chance, every opportunity I have. So
that's awesome.
Love your show. I think it's super popular, you got insightful. You guys are awesome. But I was just thinking what you think about. So Hank acts like an asshole, okay? And it's like does he continue doing it because there's someone on the jury that he think that's like encouraged by him? You know what I mean? Like that one person that is thinking like, okay, yeah, I like this style of like being an asshole. So I don't know what you guys think.
It's funny
You know
that
what I
you
mean?
say that because I got a new video dropping tomorrow. And I don't know if I say it in that video, but the point is, I've been saying that he acts like a principal, right? Like everybody's got detention. If you're loud in the lunchroom, everybody's going to detention. You know what I mean? Oh, you laughed at this guy's joke. You're in detention too. I'll sit here to 5 o'clock. He's like one of them principals that will sit there to 5.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's enjoying the
yeah,
punishment too. It's like, yo, dude, man,
right.
you sitting here to 4:30, man. You're the one that's got the family. I'm fucking 13. Fucking idiot. You know?
Right,
But yeah,
exactly.
I think that's his power that he's like you said, he tries to put that off like he's in that situation because he's in the right and there's no way he could be wrong. He's kind of like Superman. He tries to be like, you can't believe them. You have to
Well,
believe
yeah,
me. So if
well,
and to answer your question, if he has anybody like John that I've been talking about on that
mm,
jury, then that sucks.
fuck yeah, right. Well, you know what I mean. It just is. It's so crazy to be watching this and understand how reality. Like it's like those pictures. Like one person sees blue and the other person sees red. You know what I mean? Like it's a different reality for people that don't see what's really going on here, and I can't understand it. It's wild, but it was super cool to talk to you guys.
My
I love
man.
the show. Keep it up. I wish I could come up there to see you guys on the night.
What you
I
say your
told my
name?
wife, I was
What you
like,
say your name was again?
I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Okay,
Yeah,
Ryan.
I'm here in Pittsburgh, but yeah, I'll be listening. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the night.
Yeah, on June 9th, we'll be streaming. So we'll start at 8 o'clock. So just jump in, man, when we're
I'll be
streaming.
watching. Yep,
Yeah, jump in the
for
What
sure.
are you what's your name in the chat?
Ryan, just
Ryan.
Ryan.
I got you, brother. Thank you, man, for the compliment,
All right,
bro.
bro.
Peace and love.
Thanks, yeah.
Peace.
All right, bye.
Great phone call. Great phone call.
Sue Candell, pro gamer.
To accept, press 1.
You're live with J.F.K.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Wow, I can't believe this is really true.
This is
Hi,
true.
it's Sue, pro gamer. I'm
What up,
calling
Pro
from
Gamer?
France.
You calling from where?
France.
France?
France. Yep, France.
Wow. That's awesome. How's things going over there in
Well,
France?
it's a rainy, really early morning, and it's going pretty good if I'm talking to you. I've been watching for a while, and you really are intriguing to me. And also James Jackson. And I've been following this case horrified because it just seems to me like the absolute end of any the end of I mean, for me, just any semblance of belief anymore in democracy and what we grew up believing. I moved to France in 1986.
Wow.
But and I actually went to school in Massachusetts.
Where'd you go?
And okay, this is I graduated from a school in Amherst.
Okay.
And I started at a school in Western Mass, even farther west. I graduated from Hampshire College, and I hope that there's not a bunch of people that are going to be figuring out who I actually am here.
Nice.
And I actually lived for a year in Boston and had a very, very funny job following the boot teams around, the teams of the police that used to boot the cars when you didn't pay your parking tickets.
Oh, wow.
And yep, and they'd take him down to Albany Street was where the towing yard was.
Yep.
And it was a strange job. And I had some friends. Well, I had a couple of friends who were really from Southie, and when I heard the call come in, from South Boston, Kevin from South Boston, and I, you know, for me it was sort of an anthropological experience at the time, going
Say that
down to
again. It
like
was what?
anthropological.
Holy shit.
God
Well,
damn.
well, I didn't grow up in Massachusetts, and you know the crack dealing boyfriends and the it's front of the buildings
You
of the
wrong.
D Street
You
projects
wrong.
with the
You wrong.
pregnant girls and the Catholic school uniforms, and it was sort of like Goodwill Hunting without MIT. And but I found out later in life that I'm actually Irish, and I know that's strange from in Ireland, you know, say, oh wow, I just found out I was Irish, and they look at you like, oh, you're an American, just found out you're Irish, like, we're hello.
That's
But
wild.
anyway, thank you so much for all the work you've done, and just trying to bring a little light to what's going on.
Appreciate that.
And it's I mean, it's really horrifying.
It is.
It really is, and it could be any one of us, and that the corruption is so deep, and that they're so arrogant that it's just like, oh well, no, just I don't know. Maybe they're just so desperate that the only thing they have left is arrogance. But
That's a good point.
and
That's a good point.
you know, if the feds are really there or not there, I mean, how absurd that here we are going, please, I hope the feds are there. I hope the feds are there. But you really do. But are they? And if they're not, then it's just all such a sham. And this is Massachusetts. We're not talking about Alabama, or, you know, places where we would just naturally feel more comfortable thinking that, you know, oh yeah, backwoods, small town, everyone's related. But even here in your own backyard, everywhere, we just have to keep resisting instead of collaborating. And every small thing we can do, I guess, is something. But thanks a lot. I'm getting really nervous now.
No, that's all right.
Anyway,
I appreciate the phone
take
call.
care.
What do you feel
I
about? Are
appreciate.
you feeling good about the case right now? Or are you nervous still?
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm feeling. You get optimistic every time, like they manage to get some sort of testimony and there's just a tiny bit of truth, and we're all like, okay, you know, this is good. But then you look at just what, you know, the judge just keeps, you know, making these arrogant rulings with her total bias, and she's backed up. But at the end, what can actually happen? Okay, if Karen Reed is not, you know, it's declared not guilty. But then what happens? Everybody just goes home, and we know that there's been this murder. We know that there's been these cover-ups. We know that all these police, from Canton to the MSP to the DA's special, you know, SWAT team, that there's no more confidence in that. And if God forbid she's declared guilty, I mean, I've been tempted to get on a plane and just, you know, and again, get arrested in the streets of Massachusetts.
Oh no, you don't want to do that.
No, but like what? I mean, it's just outrageous. There's nothing. I mean, no, it's too wide known now. It's too. I mean, I just hope that really the fact that there is some, even though mainstream media is not covering it at all, you tell French people about the Karen Reed trial, like, what? I'm saying, oh, okay. Well, you know, never.
They don't hear nothing. They don't hear nothing over there.
No.
Nothing.
No, but think about it. Mainstream media in America is hardly touching it,
No,
or
right.
you know, with this little stick, it's like, oh well, and you know, they're all just paid faces, you know. And even when, okay, Vinnie Politan is who I've never, you know, been interested in sincerely, but you can tell that he knows that this is a sham, and yet he still has on, you know, his trying to be unbiased. So you find a couple of screwballs who are either being paid by, you know, Sergeant Tully or somebody else, or they're just looking for, you know, some sort of, I guess, evil fame. And but who are these people, and why are you giving them a spotlight? And because but then again, when we agree with something, we feel like, well, everybody must be seeing things the way we do, and apparently they're not.
Right.
So, and what about, like, imagine you work for NBC and you say all this stuff that's like sort of half truth or, insinuating, and then, but what do you do when you go home? What do you do when you're like with real people and, everybody, can you just go on and pretend it's a sham? And then if we're ever like arrested for anything or just stopped or questioned, I always felt that I was sort of safer in the American system than in the French, because the French didn't really have a presumption of innocence until 1996. And
wow.
You also you don't have to be charged in 24 hours or 48 hours. And there's nothing like bail. You sit in jail and try to organize a defense from there. And, there's hardly, it's just, it's darker in the setup, it seems to me. But maybe I don't know. I grew up like all of us in America. We say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and we do get indoctrinated with some good things, like any man can become anything, like Abraham Lincoln and his, went from the log cabin. And although we know intellectually this is also, sort of motivating propaganda, but in some sort of a good way too. It's true. There's possibilities are endless. Anyway, I'm just babbling now.
That's
but
all right.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your
take
phone
care.
call, sweetie. You too. You take care, all right?
Thanks. Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Have a good one, girl. Peace.
You
Calling from France.
Yeah.
Yes. She had a lot to say, and she said that, hey, she never thought in a million years that she'd be, she's scared. She's, great phone call. Great phone call.
Call from
Norman.
to accept, press 1.
Norman, what up, bro?
What's going on, brother?
What's happening, brother? How we feeling?
I'm feeling great.
So
Feeling
what was the thing that you were trying to tell me about the dog expert
Oh.
said to
Yeah. Alessi got up and he handed the last page of the report. I believe it was the last page of Welch's report, and on the bottom of the report, he made Dr. Russell read it, and it's a giant disclaimer that basically says that we don't have enough information to back up any of the bullshit I just said.
Say what? We don't have enough information to back up like what they're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. It basically says we don't have enough information to back up any of this bullshit we just said.
Wow.
I mean, that's when you break it down, that's exactly what it means.
Yeah,
when you
it's
get
a
a
fucking
chance
disclaimer.
tonight, yeah, exactly. And when he read it, when she read it off, when the stream was over, I said, I gotta rewind that. Did I just hear that?
Right.
And it was saying that we don't have enough. That's how Alessi ended his redirect. He goes, I have no further questions. Hank must have been like pounding his meat underneath the table. I mean, it was just.
So how are we feeling right now? Do you think
poetic.
the jury's getting everything you're saying? They're picking up everything they're putting down? Like, are they understanding the waterfall video? I mean, honestly, you're a Dorchester boy. Do you think they're getting it? Are they seeing it? I mean, I haven't been in the courtroom. James Jackson has. He says it's a younger, there's some younger cats up there. I mean, if they're younger, right? I'll just say it like this before I give it to you. If they're younger, then they're going home on their social media. And the least thing they're doing, at the very least, they're Googling Karen Reed. And it's coming up, everything we're talking about. So we should be in good shape.
Listen,
but
they don't.
What if?
They don't even have to Google it, because if they're talking about it in front of their phone and then they turn their phone on, it's coming on.
You're right.
It's coming on. You don't even have to Google it. You just talk about it on your phone, And then a minute later or 20 minutes later on YouTube, there it is. Bang, it's there. Because your phone's listening to you. You can't avoid it. It's just, listen, every time Hank objects to something, especially when he does it 2 or 3 times in a row, like he did while they were playing the waterfall video, when Alessi was like, did you see him waving his hand? Objection.
Yeah.
Did you see him? How many times did you just see him waving his, how many times did he wave his hand?
Why wouldn't they let that in? Why wouldn't they let that in, though?
You know, I have no idea. I have no idea. She's
They're trying
watching
to
the damn
hide.
video.
They're trying to hide the thing. Trying to hide more shit.
Yeah, that's just Hank does not want the truth. If there's nothing there, right, then just let it play.
Right.
She was there. She should be able to answer a question about that video.
And
she was able to answer the question about the kiss.
There's a part. Exactly. There's a part in the video where he yells and she turns her head.
Yeah.
You know, they could just add the part when their heads turn. He could say, when your heads turn, what do you did you hear?
What got your attention?
What got bingo? What did you hear?
What got your attention?
I don't know
Not
why
did you hear anything, but what got your attention?
I mean, the thing is, man, like, it's so that's 2 people so far the video got to be in front of Jen McKay. And then, like, you notice when they had the pointer, right? He said, pointer, he messed up, right? Because she didn't have the pointer at first. And she said, that's me and that's Karen. And then he goes, oh, get the pointer, my bad, get the pointer, point to you. She points to her, because now the video changed a little bit. So now she points to her, she points to Karen, and she points to John O'Keefe. But he doesn't point to Jen McKay, was right there next to John O'Keefe. Did you see that part? It was at the part of the video when Jen was, right at the 11:58 when Jen was acting all weird. And once again, like, Jen's right there. What was Jen doing? What was Jen's reaction? She was talking to Chris. Like, what was going on? And then I didn't
she was talking to Chris.
But what I
saw
didn't
her
like,
hands waving around.
What I didn't like was Hank ended it on the note was the vibes were good. Everything was all right. Everything's good. Yep, everything was good. And that's going to be in a summation. Karina said that everything is good. Everything was all right. She was right there. They brought her in. She didn't see nothing.
Yeah, well,
she was right there. She was a witness. She didn't say nothing. Karen didn't say nothing. And it's like, that's what you're expecting. You're expecting, seeing that video, someone's going to just say, yeah, man, it was just, they were about to throw down. And if you're, that's what you're expecting someone's going to say, because they would see that, because everybody else is seeing that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Jess Machado. I think it was Jess Machado that said that the jury was paying attention to the screen when that film was playing. While the Greek woman, forgive me, I can't remember her name.
Karina.
Not to mention, Karina. When she was basically narrating it, they saw all that waving around. It doesn't matter what Hank says, but Hank's a real douchebag. You know what he said? The 2 questions that he got up. For one, he didn't want to walk into something and open some sort of door that they were trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
When her testimony, when they came back from that sidebar, she had a look on her face like she was expecting to be able to be asked a question about something, and whatever it was couldn't be asked. She just had a look on her face like, hello, are you going to ask me something?
Well, I heard that question was, if it's the same thing I'm thinking, Turtle Boy put a tweet out that she said that Jen McCabe in D&E Pizza or something like that, she ran into them or something, and Jen McCabe told her when this was going on, there was footage of it. And that's what made her turn on Karen. Because at that point, she thought Karen did it because she said that there was ring footage, and then there never was. And they probably ain't letting that in for whatever reason. Because it didn't sound like Karina was against her. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all.
She said no, she wasn't drunk. She wasn't incoherent. And man.
And that was really good for the jury to hear that, because she was a pharmacist. So she knows when people come in fucked up, picking up their pills and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, she knows about that.
Yeah, so, and the other thing I was thinking was, two lame-ass questions. One of them, he said, for one, he called John O'Keefe's niece his daughter. He said, so John was kind of happy. John was happy about his daughter getting into that school.
Yep.
He tried to, like you just said, tried to put the happy vibe in there.
Mm-hmm.
He was all happy. There was a vibe. But I got a couple things from that. For one, he flung out the term daughter, and it's his niece.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, trying to gaslight the jury a little bit. And the other thing was maybe that was the only reason why he was happy, because of the niece getting into a school and not because he was with Karen. The video speaks for itself. Everybody saw, and all 9 women saw that on that thing, that picture when he actually kissed her forehead twice. But thanks to Microdots for clearing that video up so you can actually see it a little bit better. I'm sure he probably did that.
Yeah.
Because after today's thing, he released another video where you can actually see the baseball cap go over Karen's forehead, so he's kissing her. You know what I'm
Right
saying?
in front of Higgins, and it goes with the timeline. 11:32, I'm well. 11:36,
Exactly.
11:36, there's a kiss. 11:47, 11:55, they're play fight in Peacock, and then there was a kiss. So now you got to ask yourself: was the kiss from the Pats game, or was it from the forehead? Like, oh, look at this simp. He simping for his chick. He gave her a kiss on the forehead, letting us all know, like, this is my chick. And the whole
That's
ride
exactly
from
what he did.
the whole ride from New York, he's
the
saying
Irish
she was
cop.
hitting me. Yeah,
Cliff.
exactly.
Yeah.
E-Pags, I'm just taking a super chat. Sorry, no. E-Pags said at Logan Airport, a girl next to me started talking to me about the trial. We were screaming like this. Did you hear this though, E-Pags? E-Pags, because let me tell you something. I want everybody to put this music in your head. Every time someone says Karen Reed, I want you to put this music in your head. It goes a little something like this. Oh, we got Norman on the phone. Oh man, let me tell you something. 1-1 not happened on 34 Fairview. Fuck no, it happened. Titan, yep. Let's go. Woo! He passed. Maybe I'll go to the studio one day and I'll lay down a song. I'll lay down a song to this beat all about this case. We'll do something funky. We'll do it live in the studio. Then I'll put it up on my Bandcamp. Y'all can support. You could be there for the journey and we all do something together. You know what I mean? That'd be dope. Norman Corey, what's up? 1162 Key Cycles. I haven't heard a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, Hank did everything he possibly could to stop anyone from being able to ask Welcher about it, which they should have been able to. They should be able to say, okay, well, you did your test at this time. Let's work way backwards. But he wasn't able to do that. I'm sure Acker will be able to. He'll be able to question him on that, because as far as I know, Acker did do the same thing. They plugged into the machine and read and retrieved some text stream data. I believe that was 1166 is going to be Acker's test, because Welcher wouldn't mention what 1166 was on his test. When he said we skip over 1166, he doesn't mention that. And then, Alessi doesn't mention that. Welcher said, well, you didn't mention that. And he said, I didn't mention that on purpose. So I believe that 1166 is going to be somebody from ACA. But the real reason why I'm calling
Norman, I don't mean to switch it up. You coming on Monday?
I can't. I am not going to be. I'm not going to be around on Monday.
All right.
Which kind of sucks, but
it's all good. It's all good, brother. I was just wondering.
Yeah, but you never know. Something might change.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Norman.
Barrows, great witness. He got shooken just a little bit because Hank tried to gaslight him. But the jury got to see the side of that taillight. The clearest video of that taillight in this trial is that image. And probably Richie from Microdots probably put the color back in it, because the film that they were using, the taillight looked like it was almost all white. because they're a bunch of hacks and they're doing that on purpose. So obviously Hank had to approve their version of it, their cleaned up version. So the jury got to see that, how red that was. And there's no way that busted taillight, they got to see that broken taillight, and they got to see that taillight working at 420 or whatever time it was. Barrows gets on the stand. He circles the part that's broken, which we already knew, the little lumps on the side of the taillight we've known forever were busted, but the rest of the taillight was intact. Now, how is it that they have those that piece as evidence taped together? How did they get it? Karen threw it out of the, pulled it out. She said she took it out of the taillight, was stuck in there, and threw it on in the snow. Kerry Roberts and Jen McCabe, they're fact witnesses, right? They said there was a piece broken and it was stuck inside. That was the original testimony. It was stuck inside.
Yep.
Who from One Meadows would have given that piece to Proctor?
You know who?
Who? Paul O'Keefe.
I was just gonna say it,
brother.
He was cleaning up the snow that day.
He was out there. He's on film doing
someone from there gave that. That's why all the fucking footage is missing. There's no footage of him starting up the snowblower and starting the snowblow. There's no footage of Karen's vehicle leaving the yard that day when her dad jumped in it, or her brother Nathan drove it. Whoever drove it, I think her dad actually drove it. There's no footage of that. It's just you see them wiping off the back window, and then the next time we see the video, the truck is gone.
Yep.
Someone from that house knows. I just got gaslit by the McCabe's and believe that Karen did it. But when Barrows circled that spot that was busted, and it's the piece that they have taped together.
Yep.
I said, okay, somebody got, unless Proctor found it, I don't see how that's possible, because Paul O'Keefe snowblowed the driveway, or somebody did. Somebody used the snowblower in the goddamn driveway.
Let me jump off that, and let me end this, and let me give you some questions real quick. So for a couple questions, who you think's coming down the pipe on Friday? If you was gonna guess the lineup, you think it's gonna be any of the cops?
No, I don't think they're gonna. I think.
No court Friday.
There's no court Friday.
I don't think.
No, there's court Friday.
There's no court Friday. There's no court tomorrow because they can't afford to go buy two portable 18,000.
And that old ass fucking
BTU.
You know why they want to go to They want to go to the beach, kid. You shitting me? It's
White Claw.
Yeah. So what? I mean, So do you think that? I mean, are they calling Higgins, Norman? I mean, you think they might not call this dude?
I don't think they're going to call him. As far as Proctor goes, I think he's amongst the missing, and the reason
Wait
why
a
I'll
minute.
tell
Do
you.
you think that Higgins is going to get called?
No.
Wow.
And I don't know why. I don't know why, but you never know.
How about Brian Albert, his house?
Nah, you don't need that. He's a professional witness. He knows how to testify.
So who the fuck? So they're not gonna. So what are they gonna do? You don't think that's a mistake?
At first, I did. I thought very hard. I thought this is gonna be a mistake. But do they really? I mean, why give Higgins a chance to get up there and lie about why he was waving to John? Let the jury figure that out.
There's nothing to lie about, though, bro. You got because it's one thing. It's one thing, but let me add to that.
That's why. Right? That's why they didn't ask Jen McCabe about it, because she would have tried to spin it.
Yeah, but that was a mistake. Listen what I'm saying. But listen what I'm saying. Let me add to it. What I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that because I'm waterfalled out in the whole fucking you wrong thing. Listen, if it's good for business, I'm good with it. I just don't know if it's good for business. The reason why, because it's not just him waving, it's him getting grabbed, right? One.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
Pizza Man's grabbing ATF boy. That's one. Explain why you're getting
Yeah.
grabbed. Two, you text him, are you coming here right after that? Then you text her at 11:32, I'm well. So it puts him in, and you said last trial in a transcript that you didn't say goodbye to anyone. So it's just not waving where he could just say, oh, I was saying goodbye. Okay, well then explain I'm well.
You're right.
Explain why the Pizza Man. Explain 12:20 you coming in. Explain why'd you say you went home at 1 o'clock. I mean, there's just a lot of shit you could catch him up on that right now, as he's watching us, he's scared to death that he's going to have to go there and say that. So now by not giving him that, you're letting the sneak get away. The elephant in the room, you don't address the elephant in the room, the fucking sneak gets away.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But if it was me, I wouldn't. I would. I'm not obviously. I'm a mechanic. I'm not and I tint cars for a living. I'm not an attorney, but
you said you paint cars?
I tint cars.
Oh, you tint cars, okay.
Yeah. I would. Higgins.
You got any experience? You got any experience with convertible tops?
What's wrong with it?
My SL, my top don't go up and down on my SL, my 96. I think
How long has it been dead for?
Oh, it's been since I had it. I had the car now 4 years. Yeah.
So you're manually working it?
Yeah, I just throw it down manually. It's not hard to do, but I would like it for the work. I just haven't found any. The last time I got quoted for it, someone wanted like fucking 3,000 or something silly. He quoted me. I was like, all right, buddy.
Listen, you have my number. You call me some other time and we'll chit chat. Next time you're in Boston.
Oh, word up, brother.
You come by and I'll take a look at it on a Saturday or something.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
You see that, Kevy Kev? We're gonna get the fucking SL top going up and down. We're gonna be back in business to 96 cents. I'll have to pull over and do it, man. I'm just gonna hit the button on him, son.
Well, when I was younger, I used to have I was real cocky with fixing. But now that I'm old, but listen, if there's a will, there's a way. I've never given up on anything that's been broken. Yeah. So I would call Higgins because he's dumb. He ain't as smart as he thinks he is. The thing is, they filed a missing witness. The defense did, and it's sealed. So I have no idea what's in it. My guess it's for Proctor. This is just a guess. And I'll tell you why I'm guessing Proctor, because Hank Williams said they're invited to call anybody they want. If they want to call Proctor, if they want to try to call Proctor, they can, meaning the defense. He said if they want to try to call Proctor, why would they have to try? Wouldn't you just call? Where the fuck? You got to try to call him? That's it. When he first said that, I'm like, did he just say try? Right. And some people during the trial were like, they were typing in the chat, let's try. And then 2 days later, on a Friday, I think it was Friday, they filed 2 court documents, and they're both sealed, so they're not open to the public. So I'm just guessing that one of these sons of bitches is missing. Just a theory. I don't know. Yeah. But I would.
So who do you think's coming up?
I would call Higgins.
Who do you think's coming up this week on Friday and then Monday?
Well, don't they have another not Garrett Wing. I don't even know if they're going to call him.
The dog bite dude?
But I don't know if they're going to call him. They might. But don't they have one other doctor? Something?
Mark S.
And then they got.
Hold on, sorry, I'm answering the question. Mark S. It's an 8-cylinder. It's a 500. Yeah, go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
I think they have one other doctor, not for like John, but some sort of guy about dogs, possibly. And they still have a cell phone expert. They actually have two. I don't know who they're going to call. I don't know if they're calling Rich Green.
Yeah,
Or
that's going to change
or-
everything, right? Because right now everything's just fire. Like it's like, you know what I mean? The bombshells, he came in Barrows, then she came in with the kiss on the forehead. Lucky came in, Russell comes in, it's a dog bite. Devis said this. Right now it's bop, bop, bop. I feel like, we're shooting. Then it's like, now what's next? This dude, Richard Green, he needs to get on that shit. Like, nah, that How Long to Die in the Cold. Because I feel like that totally got lost. Where the fuck is that? You know what I mean? That can exonerate you. Fuck not guilty. That can exonerate you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Fuck
definitely.
not guilty. Because Karen Reed's not guilty. Okay, that's cool. But, it's still people will still think, look out. Karen's driving down the street. Everybody get out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, absolutely. You can see Hank's desperation. He's getting desperate, more desperate. He's getting so desperate that today you got Devers that goes, Devers, whatever the fuck, Kelly. Unfortunately for her, she was put in a bad situation. You could see it.
Yeah.
One of the second or the last things she said, she started to put her head down when she was like, it's impossible for me to have been there, blah, 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 blah. She was like spent. And she was strong-armed. She was called up into, she's a rookie.
So you know what that was, bro? That shit was a fucking movie scene. That shit looked bro, you don't even have to, honestly, if you were gonna do the movie, that pot right there, all you gotta do is just use that pot. Just say, do exactly what she said. You don't need to write nothing in the script. The way she said it, like you said, the head down, the expressions. I mean, shit, have her play the fucking pot. I mean, it was a movie scene. Like, I thought I was seeing a movie. It was like we were watching The Departed. It's crazy. It's the most craziest thing I ever seen in my life. Because basically, like you said, she was saying, like, I can't rat on these people. You know what I mean? That's what I got. Like, I can't say nothing. She was trying to flip it like, oh, I didn't see it and I'm not a liar and my career depends on not being a liar. But like how AJ flipped it. No, you have to lie because your career depends on it. That's what everything she was saying in jest, Yeah.
And she'll, at first when she testified, I was like, every horrible word I've ever said about somebody I did not like was in my head. And then about an hour after she was done testifying, I started thinking about it. I'm like, she's young. Her whole life, she probably wanted to be a cop. She finally became one. She left Canton for a reason. It was probably this reason.
Yeah, facts. I mean, 100%. Based on her actions, I think so. And the way she was acting, hell yeah.
And then she was put in a horrible, horrible situation. That guy called her up in the office, and he didn't say tell the truth. What he said was, one for a minute.
No problem.
I think it's that
So
deep.
that day, I gotta put wake up the wife.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Hold
go ahead.
on.
I'm gonna let Kevy Kev speak a little bit. Go ahead, Kevy Kev, speak, brother.
Man, I'll tell you, you guys are talking about that. I mean, do you think it could be that deep?
I can't hear Kevy.
Now you can't hear Kevy Kev. I'm gonna let him go for a second, and I'll tell you what he said. Go ahead, Kevy Kev.
Okay. Do you think it could be that deep where they place this girl in the Boston PD so they could monitor the shit that she was saying? Because you remember Brian Albert, Higgins, they're all from that division, the Boston PD division. So do you think that was a shift move, a placement to puppetize her and fucking, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's get her out of here, but let's put her somewhere that we still know what the fuck she's talking about during the day and fucking who she's talking to. You know what I'm saying? It could be that deep. I mean, you got this commissioner calling her upstairs. Someone I heard brought up a good point. She said that it was just her and the commissioner. You wouldn't have somebody representing you from the union when you get called up to the fucking commissioner's office. Do you think that commissioner wouldn't have had a witness? She's a female. She ain't going in that office alone, by herself. That shit was all a lie.
Yep.
The shit was all a lie.
So basically, what Kevy Kev said. Do you think that they put her in that? You heard him?
I was listening to Kevy on the on another monitor. I could hear him. I had the volume down real low. He is absolutely right. They had to basically get her out of Dodge, get her to Boston, and the whole thing. What he was saying, she was the only one with the commissioner. And he is like, she said that the commissioner said, do the right thing. But that was the same thing that Hank tried to say to Lucky. Oh, you were being intimidated. People telling you to do the right thing. Funny how it came full circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hank wants to say, no, do the right thing means do the right thing. But then he turns around and he tries to say, everybody's telling you to do the right thing, but they're threatening because of Turtle Boy's, article that he wrote months after, actually a year after. It was the same month, January. It was like January 5th. He was interviewed by the investigator. And then January 25th, Turtle Boy does an article, a post about Lucky, but it's a year later. Does Hank look at any of these documents? I mean, or is he just that much of an asshole? So Yannetti busted him on it. He got back up and he was like, "Hey, Lucky, when did this happen? Wasn't that was after the article, right? It was after you. When did you speak to the investigator?" And Lucky was like, much way for the whole thing. So, yeah, put in a bad position, and I actually kind of feel bad for her a little bit. She's young, and she saved her ass, and like she said, I can't say it any better than her. Her whole career was riding on it. And she will never, ever be able to testify again. Every defense attorney will say, didn't you testify in a prior trial or proceeding and you said you had a false memory? That's it. She's done. You know what I mean? She supposedly testified 12 times. I hope those ain't people that got locked up because of what she said.
Right.
They're filing, or attorneys are filing appeals right now.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, hell yeah.
This cop's got a false memory.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. False
memory is. I actually did some research on it. There actually is such a thing, but false memory is where you add details to a memory that you already have. This one, false memory, I mean, she just had feelings. I remember feeling this and I remember feeling that, and just it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Somebody told her to say that. False memories are when your parents tell you stories about when you were 2 that you don't remember, but you've heard them so many times. By the time you're 30, you think you remember, seeing Santa Claus come down the chimney or whatever. By hearing it so many times. It doesn't happen to a grown-ass adult.
Right.
Not a whole story. Details can.
Details, yeah. Greatness is in the details.
Yeah.
She said too many details.
Yeah.
And you could just tell by her
Yeah.
posture and everything she was bugging. Kev, you got anything to say, brother?
I mean, he brings up some great points, and I mean, I do feel that that Deva girl, she was pressured to do that shit, and you could see it in her. I mean, her composure that day and the way her body language just amplified when she was put on the spot. She paused. She had a long pause. She was uncomfortable being there, and she was fucking sent there to fucking. I mean, she even tried blaming the attorneys, the defense attorneys, for threatening her and having a hostile fucking conversation. I mean, that was she was trying to ruin that whole fucking thing.
You're right.
He did.
Norman, with that being
Yes, sir.
said, Norman, I'm going to talk to you next flight. I'm going to try to jump on tomorrow a little bit earlier and get the band back together. But I appreciate your phone call, and we'll talk again soon. I got your number. I'm going to hit you up, my brother.
You do that. All right, buddy. You have a good night.
All right, thank you, Norman, for the details, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
stay
you, man.
strong.
You too, my man.
All right, buddy.
Peace.
Bye.
Norman Corey, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the legend, 1162, aka Norman 1162.
Great call. Thanks, Norman.
Yeah, Norman's a good dude, man. I got to get him up here. I'm going to give him a link. I'm going to ask him if he wants to come up on a link to make it easier. Just make him part of the show so we don't have to, because Norman got a lot of insight. But yeah, that 1162, it's another thing they're hiding, the key cycles. Like, they're going to come up. It's going to come up with the expert, but it's not a thing. Same with how long to die in the code's not a thing. The butt dials are not a thing. Like everything that was a thing last trial's not like we're almost at the end of this shit. And like the butt dials mean nothing. How long to die in the cold seemed like it was 3 years ago. It's crazy. You think about it, right?
Call from
Tracy.
Tracy, what up? Hello? You're live with J.F.K.
Hey, it's Tracy.
What up, Tracy? What's happening?
I'm just, that Deva girl, I disagree with the, her being put up to anything. Oh, not only because, but at the very end when she said my whole career depends on it, that's the only reason why she switched up. Right. So I don't trust her. She's not trustworthy. She's no good. She needs to go back to Canton. She'll never be respected. I'm just a little heated right now because she just she bowed out. You know what I mean? She knows what she saw. And besides the fact they should go back and look at her when she gave that testimony, she's saying it. She got the timeline after she talked to the feds. That's not true. She's just trying to switch it up. And the commissioner, Cox, he got the commissioner job by default anyway because he sued the department and won years ago. So it's all something that I grew up with, lived with, experienced firsthand. I know all these players,
Yeah.
Or would be wannabes, whatever. It's not all it's cracked up to be. But I mean, do you feel bad? She tripled her salary since she came, and she's drinking our Kool-Aid. Buys an $800,000 house.
So let me ask you. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So Canton Police, she's making a lot more money in Boston.
Of course. I mean, she's left what she was making $50,000 in Canton, and she's up to $145,000.
God damn!
In 2 years. Oh yeah. I mean, the money we make is sick. It's sick, but
And you said she bought a what? What kind of house she buy?
$800,000 house, July of 2024 in Mattapan. Single family.
Hold on, I think I'm hearing the music again. I'm hearing the music. Fuck, damn.
Yep. So.
Oh man, 800,000. Holy shit, that is deep as
so of course she's gonna save her career. She's gonna pay for that house.
So wait a minute, she made $50,000 in Canton.
Yeah, in Canton. Then she went up to 80 or 9,
Static
and she's come over here and she's up to 145. Then she's only gone Boston for 2 years.
And she bought what?
5 years altogether as a cop.
And what'd she buy?
$800,000 house in Mattapan.
In Mattapan?
In Mattapan, yeah, I know.
Holy shit!
You can't touch where, yeah. You can't touch, I'm not saying anything about Mattapan, but, I was in Boston, and I love all the boroughs,
Holy shit!
But, yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
I can't respect her, because I respect someone like Barrows, right, who's like, stand-up guy, saw what he saw, told the truth, was almost killed by a drunk driver, You know what I mean? Like that's real shit. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a.
So let's
You
talk
didn't
about
cross the
Barrels.
thin line.
Barrels got hurt in a drunk
Yeah,
private
you know,
accident.
head on in a cruiser and almost died. You know, so I mean, I respect people that, you know, I do the right thing all the time. You know, I call it like it is, because, and I'm not perfect. I've had my own, you know, stuff, but no. Mm-mm. I mean, Berkowitz is dead. When Higgins gave Berkowitz's going away speech, right? Didn't he say, if you want to hide the dead bodies, Berkowitz is the man to talk to? I mean, that's crazy. I don't know. I'm just a little frustrated. There's more to my story and family and all the Hank Brennan and all that shit and Whitey. And I mean, my family's wholly involved with all of that stuff. So I just get really heated because there's been a lot of pain through the years, you know?
Absolutely,
So
Tracy.
I would love to, you know, I don't like to see anybody like this girl being framed. I just don't like to see it.
Right.
You know?
Well, listen,
And,
Tracy, I appreciate the
yeah.
phone call and appreciate the
I know.
honesty. And I'm gonna see you
Yeah.
on Monday, but I'll see you before then this weekend. I'll be on a couple flights. And
All right. Well, yes, for sure. I'm
and
around.
I got you, Tracy. I appreciate you. I can't wait to meet you, girl.
Yes, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, girl. Peace
God
and
bless
love.
you. Bye now.
Peace. Tracy from SB, the real SB. Man, 50,000 in Canton.
Yeah, crazy, dude. Crazy. I heard.
God damn, Kevin Kev. This case is crazy. What is going on? Yes. Kevy Kev, you got any last closing arguments with your boy? Say anything to the people?
Yeah, check us out. Check us out this Monday, 196 Franklin Street, Lynn, Mass. Meet and greet. Gonna be a good time.
I appreciate that. And everybody in the chat, I'm gonna end it like this. I got this song on Bandcamp. It's in my Bandcamp right now. You could check it out. I just dropped it today. It's called Stay. And I appreciate everybody. And John, what fucking planet you living on? Free Karen Reed right now. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully a little bit earlier. Put your notification on. Check out my video. You're going to be redirected to my video, Pot 2022. Kevy Kev, I'll see you on the rebound. Peace and love, everybody. Nothing but love to everybody. And check out this song called Stay. It's on my Bandcamp. Go check it out. Peace and love, everybody.
I can't take your advice. You live in mad tripe. The whole world jaded now. Everybody got a bad life. Sad life, it's like they all self-diagnosed. Just open your mind and give up the ghosts. I mean, I try to get close and I want you to stay, but you're doing Xanax and you're drinking every day. And if you play, you pay. You know how it goes. She a stripper now, star of the show. Take it slow, yo, you going through it. You wanna take your life, girl, but please don't do it. You got a little daughter, watching every move. Her dad's a deadbeat, she can't lose you too. Tell me who's who, put your heart into a meme. Filters on your face and you're chasing a dream. And ain't what it seems, can't erase the pain. I know you ready to go, but baby girl, you need to stay with me.
Girl, do you wanna stay tonight? Hold your head high, it's gonna be alright. Close your eyes and make the pain go away. I promise everything's gonna be okay.
I mean, every day, girl, I know it's a struggle. The ones that hurt you, probably the ones that love you. Gotta remain humble, no space, no time. Get your things together, out of sight, out of mind. On the grind all the time, yeah, that's what you was taught. Only reason why you sorry, cause you got caught up in the hype and caught up in the lies. You lost it all, now you realize, just real out here. The streets got stories. Father was a criminal, the 20 mandatory. Wrapped up his bait, now he a man of glory. You was just a kid watching Jerry and Maury. We trade war stories, it is what it is. You gotta break the cycle and think about your kids. Can't erase the pain, you gotta maintain. I know you wanna go, but baby girl, you need to stay with me.
Girl, do you wanna stay tonight? Hold your head high, it's gonna be alright. Close your eyes and make the pain go away. I promise everything is gonna be okay. Girl, do you wanna stay tonight? Hold your head high, it's gonna be alright. Close your eyes and make the pain go away. I promise everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, turn me up in the headphones on this one. Yeah. J.F.K, I think we're just gonna drop the hook right here, son. I got a story to tell. Say no to drugs. Let's go. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, though, dying from the Fetty pills. Prescriptions, they was already filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. The world distracted, everybody unemployed. Trapped in a rat race, but what you running for? You have some plans, realize they null and void. That trauma's real, cause no one ever wanted war. We just trying to live, pass on perspective. School system reject us and our course correct us. Motion is suppressors, probable cause audible. Food is horrible, the news is comical. My views symbolical, I do not choose to follow you. Mentally abused in the pain chronicle. The game's a funny thing, but one thing is for sure. Watch what that money bring, a whole lot of noise. Dying from the Fetty pills, dying from the Fetty pills. Everywhere you go, though, dying from the Fetty pills. Prescriptions, they was already filled, but nowadays, yo, they dying from the Fetty pills. Pay attention, they sick, they suffering. Can't trust no one, even the government. You never know where others been. So keep an open mind and let a brother in. Our generation died, now we sit and wonder. Running these streets, how we 6 feet under.